Dude, the car's talking to us.
Big deal. My car talks to me. It's called GPS.
Yes, but can your car do this?
Imagine waking up in 1973 after being hit by a car, or discovering you're secretly an international spy living a suburban life, or being told by a psychic that your future husband is one of your exes.
Do you have any idea how many men I've dated?
Those were just a few of the ambitious ideas tried in 2008. Unfortunately, none of them lasted very long. Today we're counting down 10 TV drama failures from 2008 that only made it one season. Leave a comment below with which one of these you remember, and which ones deserved a longer run. Number 10, Knight Rider. In the spring of 2007, NBC decided it was time to dip into the nostalgia vault. The network announced plans to revive two classic properties from the 1980s, American Gladiators and Knight Rider. This new version followed Mike Tracer, the estranged son of the original Michael Knight, who now finds himself working with the legendary high-tech car KITT as part of a covert government operation run by Knight Industries Research and Development. Of course, this wasn't just a simple reboot. The new KITT came with a whole fleet of transformations, turning into everything from a pickup truck to a van and even a Ford Flex, essentially becoming a rolling showcase for Ford vehicles.
Now would be a good time to use the new program I uploaded.
What new program?
That one.
The voice of KITT was ultimately provided by Val Kilmer, though he wasn't the network's first choice. Will Arnett had originally been cast, but he was forced out after it was discovered he was also voicing GMC truck commercials, something Ford wasn't exactly thrilled about.
Michael, why are you speaking Pig Latin incorrectly?
Just turn it off, please.
NBC had high hopes for the revival, ordering 22 episodes plus a pilot movie to launch the series. The show premiered on September 24, 2008, drawing 7.4 million viewers, but it struggled immediately in the ratings, losing out to Bones and Dancing with the Stars. Viewership continued to slide week after week, and by November 10th, NBC attempted a desperate course correction, reformatting the show to more closely resemble the original series. But even that wasn't enough to save it. The episode order was cut from 22 to 17, and by that point, it was clear the reboot's engine was already running out of gas. Number 9, New Amsterdam. Not to be confused with the later hospital drama of the same name. The 2008 series New Amsterdam had a much more supernatural premise. The story began in the 1600s when a Dutch soldier saved the life of a Native American woman. As a reward, she grants him an extraordinary gift, eternal youth. But the blessing comes with a condition. He will remain immortal until he finds true love.
You will not grow old. You will not die until you find the one.
Fast forward more than 400 years, and that same man is now living in modern-day New York City, under the name John Amsterdam, working as an NYPD homicide detective. After centuries of watching humanity at its best and worst, John has developed an almost unmatched understanding of the criminal mind. The series starred Nicola Coster-Waldau, years before he became internationally famous on Game of Thrones.
You're about to celebrate the 300th anniversary of your death. Are you having a party?
Small guest list. Just you and me.
Fox was confident in the concept and greenlit the series with a 13-episode order on May 11th, 2007. The show finally premiered on March 4th, 2008, as a mid-season replacement airing after the ratings juggernaut American Idol. That strategy paid off initially. The pilot pulled in 13.5 million viewers. Just 2 days later, the second episode aired on Thursday and still managed 10 million viewers. But Fox quickly began moving the show around the schedule, eventually placing it on Monday nights following another struggling series, Canterbury's Law. Once removed from the American Idol lead-in, ratings began to slide. Over the next several weeks, viewership steadily declined, and after just 8 episodes, Fox canceled the series. Critics were generally favorable toward the show, and many felt it deserved more time to grow.
We just started, Lieutenant. All we need is time.
The harshest reviews simply dismissed it as a cheap Highlander knockoff. Still, for fans of supernatural crime dramas, New Amsterdam remains one of those intriguing shows that disappeared before it really had a chance to find its audience. Number 8, Swingtown. Set during the summer of 1976. As America celebrated its bicentennial, Swingtown explored a different kind of revolution happening behind closed suburban doors. The series followed 2 generations of friends and neighbors in a Chicago suburb who began experimenting with new social freedoms during the era's growing sexual and cultural revolution.
Quaalude? It'll take the edge off.
At the center of the story were 3 married couples navigating the complicated world of open relationships, while their teenage children were dealing with their own coming-of-age dramas.
You lying little jerk!
Betsy!
Don't you say my name!
Hey!
Originally, Swingtown was pitched to HBO and Showtime, which would have been a natural fit for the show's adult themes, but both networks passed. Surprisingly, though, CBS stepped in and ordered 13 episodes in May of 2007. But there was one big problem. The script was written for cable TV, and to meet broadcast standards, the show had to be heavily rewritten and toned down, which many felt diluted what made the concept interesting in the first place. Swingtown premiered on June 5, 2008 on CBS, airing after CSI. The strong lead-in helped the pilot pull in over 8.6 million viewers. But the momentum didn't last. Over the next several weeks, ratings steadily declined, and CBS made the dreaded move, shifting the series to Friday nights, where it aired after repeats of Numbers. That scheduling change only made things worse, with viewership eventually dropping to just 2.8 million viewers. Meanwhile, the show attracted controversy from conservative advocacy groups. The American Family Association urged members to flood the network with complaint letters, while the Parents Television Council attempted, unsuccessfully, to organize a boycott. Several advertisers, including Procter & Gamble and Ace Hardware, even pulled their ads from the show. With declining ratings, mounting controversy, and weak reviews, CBS canceled Swingtown after its 13-episode run. Number 7, My Own Worst Enemy.
Roses are red, violets are blue. I'm a split personality, and so am I.
Imagine living a normal suburban life, only to discover you're secretly an international spy. That's the premise behind My Own Worst Enemy. The series followed Henry Spivey, an ordinary efficiency expert living the classic suburban dream. A wife, 2 kids, a dog, and a minivan. But inside Henry's mind lives another personality entirely, Edward Albright, a highly trained multilingual covert operative working for a shadowy intelligence agency. Both identities were played by Christian Slater, and the 2 personalities were controlled by a special implant that allowed handlers to switch between Henry and Edward whenever the agency needed their top operative. But in the pilot episode, something goes very wrong. The implant malfunctions, causing the 2 personalities to switch unpredictably. And suddenly, Henry becomes aware of Edward's secret life.
I don't know why I'm here. I don't know what you want. I don't know any Edward. My name is Henry.
While Edward finds himself stuck navigating the confusing world of suburban family life.
Henry, is that you?
Who else would it be?
The names Henry and Edward were a deliberate nod to the classic story Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, reinforcing the show's dual identity theme. The series premiered October 13, 2008 on NBC, following Heroes, bringing in 7.3 million viewers for its debut. Unfortunately, that audience didn't stick around. By the fourth episode, ratings had dropped to just 4 million viewers, and NBC quickly pulled the plug, announcing the series would end after the 9 completed episodes aired. To make matters worse for fans, the story wrapped up on a major cliffhanger that never got resolved. Ironically, critics were actually pretty positive about the show, calling it a snappily written, fast-paced thriller, and the series even picked up several award nominations, which leaves many viewers with the same conclusion. This one's failure may have had less to do with the show itself and more to do with NBC pulling the plug too quickly. Number 6, Cashmere Mafia. During the mid-2000s, networks were eager to recreate the success of Sex and the City, and one of those most notable attempts was Cashmere Mafia. The series followed 4 ambitious women, longtime friends since business school, who were now navigating the high-powered world of New York City careers. Between corporate boardrooms, complicated relationships, and demanding personal lives, the women found their own unofficial support group, which they called the Cashmere Mafia, a kind of boys' club for women where they could protect each other and share the ups and downs of trying to have it all. The show starred Lucy Liu, Frances O'Connor, Miranda Otto, and Bonnie Somerville. Created by Kevin Wade and produced by Darren Star, the man behind several iconic TV dramas, including Beverly Hills 90210, Melrose Place, and of course Sex in the City. And because of that connection, many critics immediately noted that Cashmere Mafia felt very familiar, almost like a network TV version of the HBO hit. ABC gave the show a strong launch, premiering it January 6, 2008, as a special preview following Desperate Housewives, where the pilot drew a respectable 10.6 million viewers. However, once the show moved to its regular Wednesday night time slot following Supernanny, the numbers quickly dropped. Over the next few weeks, the series averaged around 5 million viewers per episode. Then, the writer's strike struck Hollywood, halting production. As a result, only 7 of the planned 13 episodes were ever produced.
Okay, time out.
With declining ratings and an interrupted season, ABC ultimately decided not to bring the series back, leaving Cashmere Mafia as yet another one-season attempt to capture that Sex in the City magic. Number 5, 11th Hour. Another entry in the long line of American remakes of British television. 11th Hour was based on the 2006 UK series of the same name, starring Patrick Stewart, and brought to U.S. audiences by mega-producer Jerry Bruckheimer. The show followed Dr. Jacob Hood, played by Rufus Sewell.
I'm Dr. Jacob Hood,
A brilliant biophysicist who worked as a special science advisor for the FBI. Whenever agents encountered cases involving complex scientific mysteries, everything from dangerous experiments to cutting-edge biotechnology, Hood was called in to help unravel the truth. Traveling from case to case, Hood was accompanied by FBI agent Rachel Young, played by Marley Shelton, who handled the law enforcement side of things.
Do you have a badge?
11th Hour premiered on October 9, 2008 on CBS, airing after the network's rating powerhouse CSI. The pilot drew 11.4 million viewers, which might sound impressive, but it was actually only about half of CSI's massive lead-in audience. Over the course of its 18-episode season, the show maintained an average of around 12 million viewers per episode, which would have been a success on any other network. But for CBS, a network known for extremely high-performing procedurals, those numbers simply weren't strong enough. Despite its steady audience, the network chose to cancel the series after one season. Critics weren't particularly kind either, with one review calling the show a cardboard cutout drama that fails to wow, arguing that 11th Hour relied too heavily on formula instead of fully using its strong lead actor. After the cancellation, a dedicated group of fans launched the 11th Hour Resurrection campaign in hopes of saving the show, but unfortunately, their efforts never gained enough traction to bring the series back. Number 4, The X List. Sometimes a TV show has a strange premise, and sometimes it has a premise that sounds like it came straight out of a romantic comedy. Well, that was the case with The X List. Based on the Israeli series The Mythological X, the story follows a woman who receives a startling prediction from a psychic. She's already dated the man she's destined to marry. The catch? If she doesn't figure out which ex-boyfriend it is within a year, she'll remain single for the rest of her life.
Do you have any idea how many men I've dated?
Determined to avoid that fate, she begins revisiting her past relationships, tracking down former boyfriends and trying to determine whether any of them might secretly be the one.
Oh, the ex you never met. You know, it's funny, I feel like I have.
The series was developed for American television by Deanne Ruggiero, known for her work on shows like That's Life, Veronica Mars, Dirty Sexy Money, and later iZombie. The X List premiered on October 3, 2008 on CBS, airing after Ghost Whisperer, with the pilot drawing 6.8 million viewers. Unfortunately, the numbers quickly declined. Over the next 3 weeks, ratings continued to fall, and CBS made a drastic decision, canceling the series after just 4 episodes, replacing it with reruns of NCIS. What makes the cancellation even stranger is that all 13 episodes had already been completed, meaning most of the show never even aired on television. Behind the scenes, the production was already facing problems. Just weeks before the premiere on September 12th, executive producer Deanne Ruggiero left the series after failing to reach an agreement with CBS over the show's creative direction. With falling ratings and behind-the-scenes turmoil, The X List quickly became one of the shortest-lived network dramas of the year. Number 3, Canterbury's Law. Before she found massive success on The Good Wife, Juliana Margulies headlined another legal drama that disappeared almost as quickly as it arrived.
My mere presence speaks volumes.
In Canterbury's Law, she played Elizabeth Canterbury, a brilliant but rebellious defense attorney known for taking on difficult cases and defending clients others had already written off as guilty. She wasn't afraid to bend the rules if it meant protecting someone she believed had been wrongfully accused. A rising legal star, Canterbury constantly pushed boundaries, sometimes putting her career, reputation, and personal life on the line in pursuit of justice. The series was created by Dave Erickson and executive produced by Dennis Leary, giving the show some serious creative backing. Canterbury's Law premiered on March 10, 2008 on Fox, drawing 7.7 million viewers for its debut. But the momentum didn't last long. Just 1 week later, the audience dropped to 5.7 million viewers. Fox attempted to salvage the show by moving it to Friday nights following Bones, but the schedule change only made things worse, with ratings falling even further.
You screwed up!
On May 15, 2008, Fox officially announced that Canterbury's Law was canceled, after airing just 6 episodes. With a strong lead actress and a familiar legal drama formula, the series seemed like it had all the ingredients for success. But in the crowded world of network television, it simply failed to find its audience in time. Number 2, Easy Money. Created by Andy Snyder and Diane Frolov, former executive producers of Northern Exposure. The comedy drama centered on the inner workings of Prestige Payday Loans, a high-interest, short-term loan company. At the center of the story was Morgan Bufkin, a 28-year-old reluctantly trying to run the family business. But managing a controversial loan company turned out to be the easiest part. The real challenge was dealing with the chaotic personalities within his own family. The cast featured several recognizable names, including Laurie Metcalf, Nick Searcy, Marsha Thompson, J.R. Ferguson, and Katie Lowes. Easy Money premiered on October 5, 2008 on the CW, pulling in just 1.1 million viewers for its pilot episode. A rough start even by CW standards. After airing 3 additional episodes, the network suddenly placed the show on hiatus, leaving viewers unsure if it would even return. But the cancellation wasn't just about ratings. The series had been produced through an unusual agreement between the CW and Media Rights Capital, and disputes related to that deal ultimately led the network to pull the plug on the show altogether. The remaining 4 episodes were eventually burned off in August of 2009, nearly a year after the series had already disappeared from the schedule. In the end, Easy Money became a reminder that sometimes a show doesn't fail because of the audience. Sometimes it's business behind the scenes that seals its fate. Number 1, Life on Mars. Topping the list is a show that combines science fiction, mystery, and police drama into one of the most intriguing television concepts of the year, Life on Mars. The series was an American adaptation of the acclaimed British show of the same name, originally produced by the BBC. The story followed New York City detective Sam Tyler, who, after being struck by a car in 2008, suddenly wakes up in 1973. Now trapped decades in the past, Sam must continue working as a police officer while trying to figure out what actually happened to him.
I was 4 in 1973.
This is 1973.
Is he in a coma? Did he somehow travel through time? Or is he simply losing his mind? Even Sam himself isn't sure.
Sam. Hey! What? I'm awake. I'm awake! Look at me!
Blending thriller, science fiction, and classic police procedural, the series kept viewers guessing while immersing them in a gritty, stylized version of 1970s New York. The show featured an impressive cast, including Harvey Keitel, Jason O'Mara, Michael Imperioli, and Gretchen Mol. Life on Mars premiered on October 9, 2008 on ABC, airing after the ratings powerhouse Grey's Anatomy, and pulling in 11.3 million viewers. Critics were largely positive, praising the show's unique premise, strong performances, and authentic recreation of the 1970s. But despite the strong start, viewership steadily declined after the premiere. The show's momentum was also disrupted by a 2-month hiatus, followed by a time slot change, which only made the ratings situation worse. On March 2, 2009, ABC officially announced that the series would not return for a second season. Fortunately for fans, the writers were given enough notice to craft a proper ending. All 17 episodes aired, and the final episode was able to wrap up the show's central mystery, providing rare closure for a canceled series. Even today, Life on Mars remains one of the more ambitious one-season experiments of the late 2000s, and a show many viewers still believe deserved a longer run. As always, thanks for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe for more videos just like this.